Hey guys, Cody from St. Pete Running Company here in beautiful St. Petersburg, Florida, where we have a hurricane on the way later today, which is why our store is closed, which is also why I have time to bring you a review of a shoe we're really excited about, the Brooks Glycerin Max. So, quick backstory to this one: maximalism, thick cushioned shoes with a rocker and kind of a firmer sole, has been around for 10 years now, if not longer. But Brooks, much like minimalism in 2010, 11, 12, they took their time, did the research, did it their way, and they came out later than most. But now Ghost Max is on its second iteration, and Glycerin Max is about to come out soon. Shout out to Brooks, they sent me an early release pair, so I've had a chance to wear it around the store all day. I've had a chance to run in it, and I'm excited about it. And I'll spoil it for you, I like it. Let's go over the shoe. This review, let's start at the bottom, sort of work our way up. We'll talk about the outsole and how it ties into the midsole, but kind of very Hoka-esque, where the whole thing doesn't bend a lot. So basically, you won't see these lateral flex grooves that enables the shoe to bend, because they're kind of like what other Max Stack shoes are doing. Like, hey, don't worry about putting your foot into windlass. Just put one foot in front of the other, and we'll take care of the rest with a fixed platform and a rocker bottom, which you should feel just here at the base of the Met heads. Now, the way they achieve that, they still have the yellow spots. I don't know if you can see it on your screen. The yellow spots are actually recessed in there. So they're longitudinal lateral flex grooves, longitudinally instead of laterally. And what that does, if you'll notice, it's coupled with thicker blown rubber on the outside, and then basically a groove here and here. So when you're running, your foot will sink down into the middle of the shoe. So if you tend to evert or pronate a little bit, or even if you roll to the outside, this is designed to keep you in the middle of the shoe. So, and I actually felt that, and I think you will too. Another thing you're going to notice is the last of the shoe is quite straight. So if you draw a line from the middle of the back all the way up, it's really straight, and not like the old semi-curved or curved banana last of the past. So the reason they did that, they coupled that with a very wide waist to the shoe, so you sink down in it and it accommodates a lot of different feet. And Brooks was very clear that they wanted this shoe to fit a lot of different people. And they did a good job of that. From the side, I did the finger test where you know, the old pinch test, and just like every other Max Stack shoe, you're not standing on this, you're standing in it. So think of it as a bucket seat, a kayak for your foot where you're down in there. It was the length of about that much finger. So right about there, at the end of my finger, is where you are down in the shoe. This kind of comes up and wraps around. Think of it as a taco for your foot, and we all like tacos. Now let's talk about a foam story. You hear people talk about SCF or supercritical foam, and I think one of the things I noticed with reviews online is they look at it as a foam, and it's actually a process, so which produces the foam. So think of it, I'm probably going to mess this up, and it's like making, this is really simple, but like making waffles. Imagine you put all the stuff in the waffle maker, and then you hit it with high pressure, high heat, and then that's kind of like how they make these midsoles, but then they blast a gas in there, and then the material reaches a supercritical state and pops out. Usually the gas is nitrogen or CO2, but nitrogen is what everybody's using. It seems like much better for the environment anyway. So that's SCF, or supercritical foam. You could do it with a lot of different recipes, and there's a lot of different batches, and that's why midsole foams are so varied right now. But this is a SCF. What makes the DNA tuned unique is that they were able to find out a way to produce it where it's not like a monozygous durometer or density all throughout. So they now can tweak how dense it is and theoretically make it softer here and then firmer as you go forward to get you off your foot. I'm not exactly sure how they did it or what they did, but I do know it feels different here than it does here. The rocker is based, for me, I felt it here a little further forward than I was thinking it would be for like your general pop run shoe, but that's what this is. And the rocker is right here at the base of the metatarsal heads, and I liked it. I tried to run it, I did run in it, and I tried to land rear foot, I landed midfoot, I landed forefoot, I tried to run inverted, everted, and all different formulations, and I'm happy to tell you that this shoe felt good all over. Now, I was pleasantly surprised that it does pick up speed really well, but if you're going to do workouts, unless you're carrying an injury, which you may not want to do workouts if you're injured, but unless you're carrying an injury, you do workouts probably in something else. This is their long hauler, let's make no mistake about it. So This weekend, I'm supposed to run 2 hours and 40 minutes as I'm preparing for a marathon up in Chicago. Very well might do it in this shoe because it feels like you just get lost on your foot. Now let's talk about the upper. When you're sizing these things, guys, go to your local running store, get somebody to measure your feet because our feet change, shoes change. Just because you used to be a size 10 doesn't mean you are now, but your toes should come to where the contrast is of the midsole right there. So you need about that much room. A thumb is the way to do it while you're standing. They put this Brooks logo on there and it's like rubber. It's not sewn on. It must be printed on or adhered to it. Not the biggest fan of it. It has a 3D call out, so maybe that's why they wanted to do it. It could be hot. Not in love with it. Might weigh the shoe down. I don't know. They didn't put it on the medial side. And look, if you're going to make something that intrusive, you might as well go all in and do it on both because you can see the medial aspect of the midfoot has kind of like a supple feel, and I noticed my foot was kind of coming in on it. So it would be nice to have that there. I'm sure they'll fix that in future iterations. The tongue isn't like elasticed in to the side, so it's not one piece. The tongue's not one piece. It's actually just like an old school tongue that's built in there. Closed throat, there's stitching here. Accommodating upper. One small little detail that I really like, guys, is you can see that this is offset that way. So your phalangeal metatarsal, your big toe joint is here, and this is behind it, enabling your foot to splay when you walk and run, when you load your forefoot. So I really like that detail they did. The laces are not flat or ribbony. They're kind of like stretchy a little bit and circular. They have a nice circumference to them. My foot slid right in there and stayed in, even though it's not shark skin or anything, like it's slippery both ways, but stayed in there. It didn't feel like this was obtrusive at all. So really happy with that as well. The upper, if you have a wide foot, I think you can fit into the regular width too. So I like that. Let's talk about the roll. The transition was really good. You feel it popping off the ground here, but it's not like a lot of shoes where once you get to the forefoot, it just slopes up and you don't feel anything. You still feel like you have something to push off from. So happy with the shoe. Even at that price point, I think it's going to be a heavy hitter. If you're looking for updates, I think the upper, I'd like to see this gone, maybe 3D print some sort of embellishments on the medial side because some people are going to roll to the inside. Other than that, I'll let you know after I go out and run a few hours in it. But having just tested it here on the treadmill and worn it all day at work, big fan. So that's the Brooks Glycerin Max. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you soon.